Unmute. There we go. I can't hear you.
Okay, how about now?
Now I can hear you.
I just had to hit that little button that says join with computer audio.
Yeah, that we're learning.
Mm-hmm.
We're learning. So we literally are starting this podcast by the seat of our pants and raw grit in our shorts.
Absolutely.
That's why it was like a day at the beach. Because you have sand in your shorts. Anyway, hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I'm Dr. Cynthia, and
I'm Kaylyn.
Hi, Kaylyn. And this is Intuitive Hypnotherapy Podcast, where we invite you to come for the chat, stay for the healing. And today, because we like to jump right into the juicy stuff, this will be a continuation of Kaylyn's story. And Kaylyn is brave and proud and lovely enough to still show up while we talk about her rich and thick and chocolatey past 6 months. For those who weren't here last week, Kaylyn, you want to give a
sentence? So last week I just kind of told everybody how it's been a rough string of months with multiple deaths from my little chicken to family and good friends, and it's just been a struggle.
Yeah. So, and I appreciate you so much for sharing your story and being willing to do this live. So today's episode, I'm calling it Death, Loss, and the Oh Shit Continuum. Because we spoke of death, or, in the context of Kaylyn's rough past 6 months. Yes, this happened in just 6 months, 3 deaths, and she had a stroke. So, and then we did a meditation on grief, and to roll back the tape a little bit, when we do these meditations or when we do the hypnosis sessions, I combine my tools. And so you get a little bit of my clairvoyant training, get a little bit of hypnosis. Wait, what? You're a clairvoyant? Yes, people. I went to psych school. Yes, it is a thing. And it's kind of like Hogwarts without potions class or Quidditch. But we do learn that everything is energy and how to move energy. And we do it with guided imagery and active imagination. And some of the tools that we learn and that I teach in my meditation or hypnosis, some of them overlap with my hypnosis training. Some of them I just merge. So some of the tools that we learn, and some of the tools that I teach you and that we go through when we do the healings, are things like the tool of neutrality. Neutrality is the concept of being neutral, being able to look at something from a distance, being impartial. And so that way you can see whatever the situation is a little more clearly. The other tool that's really helpful when we deal with things like death is a tool of humor. So we didn't know that your silky chicken cinnamon sugar was the beginning
right
of unfortunate events. But I have this I hope she listens to this. I have this great friend, her name is Laura, and I was telling her about your story and how I felt so bad for you when your chicken passed, and how you were really struggling with how you're going to tell your then 4-year-old And my Laura, my friend, interrupted and said, wait, did she make sure to tell her which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Oh, my Laura would have fun with that conversation. She would have so much fun with that.
So I think I texted you or I called you about that.
Uh-huh.
But that's a way without taking away from the reverence or the sincerity of the situation, just to toss a little humor in there. And, we got a good chuckle. We still get a good chuckle because it's just, knee-jerk timing. And that's what good friends do. You can have those moments. So when we're serious about a situation, and certainly the passing of a loved one is serious, but the energy of being serious is very heavy. It can be dark. And so if we can infuse a little humor, a little amusement in the situation, it lights things up and things are able to heal a little faster at a vibration of amusement. So as we embark on talking about death, loss, and the oh shit continuum, being able to bring a little amusement to the table allows us to really appreciate the beauty of someone's life or a silky chicken's, short tenure on the planet, and do it in a way that, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for, Kaylyn? I guess a little easier.
I know. I was going to say gracefully. I mean,
So, did you have with either of the chicken, you told us about that funeral, and that was cute. And you did that with some amusement. Refresh the listening audience on your chicken funeral.
Yeah. So I thought my husband and I were talking back and forth, like, what are we going to do? Like, well, we got to bury it. We got to have some kind of, this is I'm not going to say this is our first pet. It's a story for another day, but this is the one, Laura's seen since teeny tiny, grow up. So I said, well, I wrapped her up and I put her in a little box and we had to talk with Laura about it. And I asked if she wanted to see her and she says, no. I said, okay, that's okay. Cause I don't know if, she looked okay. It wasn't like she looked grotesque or anything, but, so we start like putting her, we had a little spot buried and put her in there. And Laura, when I asked if she wanted to see her, say goodbye or anything, she said goodbye, but she didn't want to see her. And then she kind of walked away. So I was like, okay, guess that's it. So we put her in the ground and we're just about to start kind of covering her up. And Laura runs back up. I want to see her. I'm like, okay. So we had to like halt, stop what you're doing and lift up the little towel so she could see her feathers, And so she said goodbye. And that's all it was. She says, okay. And then ran off. And the next day we went and she insisted that we get this concrete chicken that is like,
oh, that's right,
2 feet tall, maybe. This thing weighs quite a bit because it's just a solid chunk of concrete. But so it's back there. It's back there where Cinnamon Sugar is.
That's hysterical. She has a monument.
Yeah, she does. She does, but I did think it was she had no desire to see her, and right as we're about to finish up, she's like, wait. So,
I regret it.
Right. So we did that, and every now and then she walks back and just crouches down there. She did this just last week. I miss Cinnamon Sugar. I said, oh yeah. She says, yeah, I miss her.
So sweet. Now you
So-
realize any other pet that passes, you're going to have to get concrete monuments. So you'll have a whole.
And the amount of animals we have, it's gonna look interesting.
Have a little park. A little
Right. Right. It'll be an attraction. Yes, it will.
Call me when you're ready to help build the pergola.
Right. We'll just have to start just getting bricks, like in memory of.
Oh, so your friend Linda,
Yes.
so in her celebration of life, and I really like that term. I don't know who coined it, but
Yeah, I do too.
Great one. So what ways did you honor her passing with a little bit of humor or amusement?
Yeah. So we didn't have a formal celebration of life. Her daughter's going to have a little celebration when she goes down to the mountains, because that was her favorite place to be. And she was telling me for years that she's putting aside money because she's going to go retire in the mountains. Like that. And she would even tell me, like, she looked at this little plot. She said, I don't care if it's a shack. I don't care if it's a trailer in the woods. I just want to be in the woods in the mountains.
God bless.
Yeah. Oh, she was like counting down. So that is her. So that will be kind of their family celebration. I know with Laura, our own little celebration is, we talked about her. We still talk about her quite often. But I think it's just because we do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So to tell people that are listening, I chatted with you a few minutes before we got on the phone. I was like, I am going to try to keep it together today, but it's just one of those days. It's just a rough day. So,
and if you take a moment and want to,
right. But
we're doing free. So,
we do a lot of things that remind me of Linda. So what I do now, her daughter and I are good friends. So I just send her daughter messages. I'm like, well, I would share this with your mom. So, and I'd send her pictures of Laura, what we're doing. Or we went yesterday and found a little like park with a waterfall, probably about 45 minutes from the house or so. And that was one of the things Linda loved to do, was no matter what the temperature was, she was taking off her shoes and putting her feet in the water, regardless of the temperature. So when she'd make her trip down to the mountains, that was just her thing. Take the shoes and socks off, step in the water a little bit. So we did that yesterday, and that was kind of, made me think of her. So of course I had to send that to Kayla. But I think with her, we still visit Kayla. We still visit, I talk to her very often, but we still go up to her shop, and Laura still calls it Mammy's shop. And so, yeah, Linda comes up quite often.
For Laura, because you're really instilling that circled life moment,
Right.
that you can still, keep pressing forward and still, tip of the hat to someone who has made her transition. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And it is kind of, it's nice that, Laura just out of the blue would be like, well, I'm sad about, and it's, Mammy, or I'm sad about cinnamon sugar, or I'm sad about great, so she just out of the blue sometimes. So I'm like, all right, me too.
You've given her permission to own her feelings and share them.
Right.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah.
And how did you honor great with a level of humor?
Yeah.
Or new?
Actually, so we had a formal service for her, and I know I mentioned last time, we let Laura know ahead of time, like, this is probably what to expect. And she did really good. She went up and kind of said her goodbyes, but she had her cousins around, and it was almost, and I've thought this, it would sound like I go to a lot of these things. I really don't. It's just been these last 6 months. But it's kind of, I almost think that like having kids there almost gives you like, I don't know if necessarily distraction is right, but we were talking about humor a little bit. So it's like they just lighten the situation.
Indeed.
You're still in the situation, you're still going through it, but they lighten the situation. When it gets to be too much, it's like we can go, oh, what are the kids doing? Let me go check on the kids. So we did that, and then we all ended up out to eat. But of humor, we went to Red Lobster for Mother's Day, and Dave said something about, do you remember when we brought Great here? And he and his sister, I mean, all of us were laughing about the fact that the last time we were there, she was just eating shrimp, but whole, tail included. And we kind of looked around and we're like, she's ate a few shrimp, but I don't see any tails just down the hatch. So of the humor, we definitely had a good laugh about that most recently on Sunday.
That's hysterical. That's awesome.
It is. It is.
That's how you prove your mettle.
Right. Yep. And then she'd say, I'm stuffed, and then eat something else, but I do the same. So I didn't blame her.
Hilarious. But and again, I am sorry for your losses. And that phrase right there seems a little insufficient, and I have a patient whose nephew just passed over the weekend. He had ALS, and so he was suffering quite a great deal. And she said, he's better off now because, he's out of pain. But she's going in particular to give support to her brother and sister-in-law. And as I said, I'm sorry. So I changed sorry for your loss to I'm sorry for your family. And I don't know if that's better. But it is a loss, but it's those of us that are left behind that we have shit to process. And so that's kind of what we're going to do today.
Right.
I was about to say sorry for your loss, and I think I did, but I'm sorry for your family. I'm sorry for the wound it left. And, but at the same time, tip of the hat for how you are navigating this. And you have 100% permission to boo-hoo as much as you want, take your moment. I feel like so often we try to keep the stiff upper lip, and I mean, we
absolutely
just and like, no, if you're torn up, be torn up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to move through it, but if you need to take it, God bless, take a moment. I think so many of us numb out, everything from antidepressants to all of our commercially available vices. And in this, I want to give you a safe place to feel whatever it is you're feeling, including anger or disappointment or feeling like you're gypped. Some people feel like, I don't get to do this with this person anymore. God damn it. And that's a loss. And, but just helping try to give a safe place for those that are grieving to really look at, and in psychic school, we actually call it death pictures. A picture, if you will, is just the energy around a topic or a subject. So, and we all have pictures or ideas around any such thing. What does it look like? Is it haunting? Is it painful? Is it taxing? Does it take something from us? Is it more work because somebody's gone? All of the things. And so we all have what we call death pictures around somebody transitioning from a spirit in a human form to just a spirit. And so in this meditation, yay, we're going to look at death pictures, what our concept of death looks like. And I will often say conscious or otherwise, because sometimes we're not fully aware of how we look at these things. Sometimes it's very much on the unconscious level. And so some of that we're going to invite to bubble to the surface, and then reconcile in your heart and your soul, and look at it as part of, not to be trite, but part of the circle of life and part of the beauty of going from, consciousness to human form back to pure consciousness, and, healing whatever you need to heal in this life so that you can maybe just play in your next life, if you believe in such a thing. I think, why not? Right? Mm-hmm. Why not have more than one existence? I think we are expansive as beings, and why the heck not? Let's see. So consciousness, intuitive hypnotherapy. Is there anything, I have an idea of where I want to go with this, in the soft place to land. Is there anything for you that you want to touch? Because right now we're an audience of two, right?
Right. I think, and you had just mentioned this, that you feel like you got to keep on going. You got to stiff upper lip. And I think, I feel like now, even though all that stuff happened like in a short period of time, I also feel like I'm, at least a month or two out from all of the events together. I'm like, well, I should be fine now. Why am I not fine now? Yeah, that's where I'm at. Why am I not fine now?
I'm going to write that down. That is such a good way to phrase it, because again, I don't think you're alone. I'm not
right.
This for whoever will eventually be our listening audience. But because you're not.
But I'm supposed to be. I have to keep going. I got things to do. This goes to that oh shit continuum. That's where the continuum is for me right now, is I'm like, I got things to do. I don't have time for this. But all of this slows me down.
Yeah.
It's slow me down. Yeah. I don't have time.
It's called never time. Or, if I may, and this is where psychic school, and I call it toggling effortlessly between the muggle and the wizarding world, how to use these tools so that you can tend to self, tend to your wounded heart, tend to all the chakras that got lit up, and breathe, and then get back at it, or park it for a second and prepare for the next day. From a family of when shit happened, it's just like wrap up that bloody stump and get back in the line, right. But we don't have time for any of this nonsense. To which another one of my Cynthiaisms is, whatever you repress, you'll eventually have to express. And it might come in a crying fit. You might manifest, acne. You might manifest a fibroid in your uterus. You might manifest cirrhosis in your liver. The energy has to move somewhere, right? Processing it, it's going to move, right? let's do it in a way that's healthy, that's conscious, and dare I say it, where you're in control.
Mhm.
You are the master and commander of whatever you're feeling, right? So
Mhm.
the grief monster doesn't get to be bigger than you and take over and, hog all the blankets. No, you get to say, hello, grief monster. We're going to have a chat. And then I'm going to send you away. Okay.
Yes,
And then
absolutely.
when I need to process them, I'll invite you back. But it's definitely in the I'll call you.
I like it.
And that's what using your psychic tools, that's how you will be able to toggle between the muggle world, getting shit done that you have to get done, and doing it with your magical tools, doing it with, being able to move energy. That's what you do, right? Thoughts are energy, emotions are energy, light and clouds are energy, right? I show you how to transmute or transform energy, right? And we do it with our imaginations. We all got born with one. So we're going to flex on that. Why am I still in it? God, that is so good. So what do you say? Why don't you sit back in your big comfy chair, and what do you say we jump in and maybe move some of this shit?
Let's do it.
Move it with some humor. Which came first?
We'll ask Laura. She will be able to tell us. I am sure she knows everything.
And I've looked at that question as a psychic and as a scientist, and I get two different answers.
Well, that doesn't help.
Yeah, not at all. Or it's one of the two. So let's do this. Let's everyone, when you're ready, and for the listening audience, we're going to start the meditation now. So don't be driving. Don't be operating heavy equipment. Don't drink right now. This is the time for you. So to the degree you're ready, find a comfortable place to sit or lie down where you can be quiet. Maybe have something to drink, perhaps a box of tissues or the sleeve of your flannel shirt, whatever. Because we're going to move some energy. We're going to look and heal the concept of death pictures and loss, and the inevitable for many of us, oh shit, that comes along with it. Oh shit, my friend just died. Oh shit, what am I going to do? Oh shit, I've got stuff to do. Oh shit, I don't have a black dress to wear to a funeral. Oh shit, how am I going to tell my kid? Oh shit, what am I going to do without my friend? What am I going to do without my partner? What am I going to do without my pet? Oh shit, I have to buy a 2-foot concrete chicken. Oh shit, where am I going to put it? Oh shit, now that I bought this one, now I'm going to have to buy one for every pet that passes.
Yep.
We're going to have our own Zen garden of concrete. Oh, I just love that picture.
I'll send you a picture of the start.
Yeah. So that's the oh shit continuum. And in my family, everything had a side helping of shame with it. Why? Because that's how we do in Kansas. It's German style. Somebody else died. Well, you should be ashamed. Why? You didn't spend enough time with that person, or you didn't wear long sleeves to the funeral, or we could, my family, we can shame everything. So we'll lighten that a little bit too. So, okay, for the listening audience and for you, my dear friend, go ahead and close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths and just get here. The body really likes oxygen. So breathing in, breathing out. Really feels good to the body. And for those that get anxious, one of the quickest way to move through anxiety is just to oxygenate the body. Sends a signal to the vagus nerve to just calm down. Everything will be fine. Turns off the jets for the endorphins, the fight or flight. So take a deep breath. And just get here. For some of us, sometimes we want to just pat the body and just say hello to our physical form. You know, like, hi, body. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to put you through what I put you through in a day. Thank you for getting me here. Thank you for allowing me to have this human experience. And as we move through this meditation, you might find that you'll fidget. You might need to squirm in your chair. You might cough or sneeze. Your eyes might water. Your nose might run. Might yawn. All of those are perfectly natural. And just do it. Just go with it. Take another deep breath. And allow yourself to be a point of light. Be a point of light and nestle behind your eyes and in between your temples. We call this the center of head. So be in the center of your head, and with your eyes closed, imagine that you can look at the world from behind your eyes. I like to imagine I'm Captain Kirk and I'm looking through the front windshield of the Starship Enterprise. For you youngsters, Google that. So be in the center of your head. And this is your sixth chakra. This is your intuitive space, your knowingness. This is your third eye. So be in the center of your head as a point of light. And then in the center of your head, imagine a bubble around you in all directions. This is your aura. This is your personal space, your energy field. Make this bubble about 3 feet in all directions. Over your head, to either side of you, in front, 3 feet behind you, and 3 feet under your feet and legs. This is your aura, your energy field. This is your safe space. And then create a grounding cord. A grounding cord is a connection from the base of your spine, your hips, through the chair that you're sitting in, or the floor that you're lying on, or the bed that you're lying on, through all the floors of the building that you're in, through all the layers of the earth. And we teach that it grounds into the center of the earth. And the center of the earth, you can imagine, is anything you like. And for today's exercise, let's imagine that it's a meadow or a lawn, field. And allow your grounding cord to be a tube of light. A tube of light you can see like a fence post going into the center of the earth. And the grounding cord serves two purposes. It grounds you, it tethers you, and helps you feel safe and secured. But it also acts as a garbage chute. So you can intend that any that you're ready to let go of, you can just send down the grounding cord to the center of the earth, and they are transformed or transmuted into neutral energy. So be in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble. And allow any energies. Remember, everything is energy. Any thoughts, feelings, emotions, concepts that you're ready to let go of. Any energy from other people that you've been carrying around that you're ready to let go of. Just effortlessly, you can let it go down the grounding cord, and it gets transmuted, transformed into neutral energy. And it can be just that easy. So in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble, we're going to take a little trip. So take a deep, deep breath. And as you're sitting there in your chair or laying down, allow your body to become heavy. Allow the muscles of your scalp to soften and relax. Allow the muscles of your jaw, your neck, to soften and relax. Allow the small muscles around your eyes, muscles of your forehead, to soften and relax. Allow the muscles of your shoulders, your upper back, to soften and relax. And with every breath, you sink more and more into the chair. Allowing the muscles of your arms, forearms, even the small muscles of your hands and fingers, to soften and relax, getting heavier where you sit or lay. Allowing the muscles of your torso, upper back, side bodies to just go limp, relax. Allowing you to sink in your chair or where you lay. Allow the muscles of your lower back to just soften, relax, getting heavier and heavier where you sit. Allowing the muscles of your belly, your hips, your thighs to soften, relax. Allow the muscles of your thighs, front, sides, and back to get heavier, supple, going limp, sinking into the chair. Allow the muscles of your lower legs to soften and relax. Even the muscles of your feet, small muscles into your toes. Just let them relax, soften. As if your whole body got heavier, heavier, allowing you to sink comfortably into the chair or wherever you lay. And bring your attention to the chair. that you're sitting in, or wherever you're laying or relaxing. And notice how that chair is supporting you. And allow your body to feel that support. And just like the universe is supporting you, allow yourself to feel supported. Yes, that's exactly right. And as that concept of being supported washes over your body, you get even more and more relaxed, even more and more comfortable, sinking into the chair. Comfortable, relaxed, supported. And with every natural breath, you go deeper down into relaxation, while still keeping your attention here as a point of light behind your eyes and in between your temples. You're in your own command center. And you can allow your vessel to relax. Safety of your bubble and the grounding of your grounding cord. Deeper down, deeper down, deeper down into relaxation. And in your mind's eye, still in the center of your head, I want you to picture a lake or an ocean or a pond, body of water. And it's just 5 steps in the distance. And as you take a step towards this body of water, going even deeper into relaxation, deeper into quiet, comfort, relaxation. And when you get to the water's edge, you will be in the deepest state of relaxation, what we call your resource state of your subconscious mind. So as you take the first step towards the water's edge, you double the amount of relaxation you feel in your body. It feels so good. It feels so safe to be relaxed, comfortable. Take the next step, going deeper down into relaxation. Third step, deeper into relaxation. Comfort, support, quiet. One more step, deeper and deeper into relaxation. And finally, the last step, and here you are at the water's edge. It's beautiful. You can smell pond or lake or ocean. You can hear the waves gently lapping. You can hear wildlife, birds, dolphins, animals, fish. And imagine the sun is shining ever so gently. You can feel the warmth on your skin. You can feel the warmth in your body. And you can almost taste the sweetness of the air. And you can feel the soft ground under your feet. Maybe the water is lapping your toes. And here at the water's edge, this is a magical pond or lake or ocean. And in your imagination, you can draw from it what you need, and you can toss into it what you're ready to let go of. So at the water's edge, looking out over the water, imagine a small boat and allow that boat to represent the concept of death. And take a look at that boat. Is it big? Is it small? Is it a pirate ship? Is it a yacht? Is it a little canoe? Is it a raft? What does this boat that represents death look like to you? And whatever you see is whatever you see. You can't do this wrong. So in this boat, it's out in the water. It's a safe distance from you. Might be 100 yards. It might be miles away, and you have to look at it with binoculars. So as you see this boat that represents death, just look at it for a moment. Just see it. And stay in the center of your head. Stay at the edge of the water. And you may notice feelings or sensations in your physical body. Just allow them. And if anything's unpleasant, you can take that and drop it down your grounding cord or toss it into the water. And stay in the center of your head and allow that boat to come a little bit closer to you. Maybe it's a few feet. Maybe it's quite a ways. And see what else you notice on this boat. Is there anyone on it? What color is the boat? Is it seaworthy? Is it pretty? Is it ugly? And notice from the center of your head, you can look at a boat that represents the concept of death. And you can have a level of neutrality about it. So in that boat, whatever color it is, give it a paint job. Change the color. If it's white, perhaps make it blue. Give it stripes or polka dots. Let's change the color. And if you don't like the color that you changed it to, change it to a different color. Or if you like the color, make that color brighter or darker. And see what that does in your physical space. And congratulate yourself on being able to control and change your concept of death. Now, whatever your boat looks like, make it bigger by maybe 10%. So if it's a raft, make it a little bigger raft. If it's a pirate ship, make it a bigger pirate ship. Just increase the size by 10%. And be in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble. And see what happens in your physical body when you make the boat that represents death a little bigger. And then take that boat, when you're ready, shrink it down. Shrink it down by 10% or by half. Make it smaller. And see what that does in your physical space. See how that changes how you're processing the concept of death. And then when you're ready, make your boat silly. Paint it with stripes. Put some funny animals on it. Put a big crazy horn. Some music. Maybe put an ice cream truck on it. Make your boat funny, whatever funny looks like to you. And with all the reverence, when dealing with the concept of death, change your boat that represents death. Make it something that you see as funny. And see what that does in your physical space. It's still the concept of death, but you have mastered control, command over that in your space. You've shown how you can change it. And you can do more. When you're ready, as you choose, with your imagination. So when you're ready and you've changed this boat, a little or a lot, to have some humor, something funny on it, in your mind's eye, look out at that boat and shrink it down to the size of a postage stamp. And congratulate yourself on being able to have command over a concept. This one just happens to be the concept of death. And see what that does in your physical space. And when you're ready, take your boat that represents death, that you shrunk down to the size of a postage stamp, and flick it off to the edge of the universe and let it just evaporate. And again, congratulate yourself for having command, certainty, control over your concept of a very juicy topic, that being death. And at the water's edge, looking out over the water, and this time, imagine a bubble just hovering over the water. Make it about the size of a beach ball. And allow this bubble this orb that's floating over the water. Allow this to represent the concept of loss. Loss. When someone or something passes, transition. Allow them to experience the concept of loss, however it shows up for them, however it shows up for you. And take a look at that bubble. Is it light or dark? Is it heavy? Is it angry? Is it sad? What is loss in reference to death or the passing of someone? What does that look like in your world? And again, there are no wrong answers. And so with this loss, give this bubble its own grounding cord, its own connection to the center of the earth. And allow that grounding cord on your bubble. It's hovering over the water. To release anything that's particularly painful with your concept of loss. Anything that causes you to worry or feel anxious. Anything that makes you feel out of control or that you have lost control. This bubble that's hovering over the lake or hovering over the body of water with the grounding cord, whatever concept that it means to you that is any way uncomfortable, go ahead and just drain that off. Release it to the earth. But at the same time, allowing the loss to still hold its meaning, its reverence, its concept to you. Just allow that to be at an energy that is more manageable for you. You know it's a loss. That person or that pet is no longer in a body. But the loss isn't crippling, isn't as wounding. It's a little more manageable. And when you're ready, take that loss, drop the grounding cord, and float it off to the edge of the earth, edge of the universe, and let it evaporate. And see how that feels in your physical body. We've just transmuted the concept of death, concept of loss. And in so doing, we're saying hello to that, oh shit, what do I do now? Why am I still feeling what I'm feeling? Well, because you are. And that's okay. But you can use these tools to give yourself a healing when you need. And it can be as quick as you need. Take all the time that is necessary for you to heal. So lastly, at the water's edge, imagine floating out over the water is your avatar, is an impression of you, a hologram of you in this present moment. This can represent your spiritual body, your emotional body, your mental body, your astral body. It's a hologram of your physical body and today's body. And give that body, give that hologram the healing that you need. Do you need comfort, support, grace, humor? What do you need in this moment? Compassion? Maybe you need some amusement. Maybe you need some rest or body level healing. Give your avatar anything you need. And give it some gold energy. Gold is the highest vibration of all the colors. And you know that you can lather, rinse, repeat this anytime you want. And when you're ready, take that avatar that's floating, hovering over your body, water, draw it into your present time physical body, and give yourself that healing that you need, that love, that support, that grace, that compassion, that healing. That forgiveness, that joy, and any other positive quality that you want more of. And you can do this anytime you want, as often as you like, as much as you need. And when you're ready, we're going to walk back from the edge of the water where we gave a healing, we got a healing, and we moved some energy. So looking out over that body of water, whether it's a pond, a lake, a river, the ocean, and understand your connectedness with everything that made that body of water, everything that made the universe made you. You are divine. Take it in. Take it in. All the beauty, all the joy. And in a moment, not just yet, we're going to walk away from the water's edge. We're going to take this healing with us and know that this is a permanent change. And we're just that awesome. So feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, smelling the ocean breeze or the scent of the forest, the pond around you, the sounds of nature. Take it in one last time. And as you turn and begin to walk away from the body of water, take all that goodness with you, changing every one of your 70 trillion cells. Step 1 to step 2. You might start wiggling your fingers or toes. Step 3 to step 4. Might move your body a little bit. Shrug your shoulders. Step 3 to step 4. You're coming back into the room. Step 4 to step 5. Eyes open. Wake up. Come back. Hello, hello. Hey, sweet cheeks.
Eyes are all crusty. Like I can't open them.
Just literally literal and figurative sand in our eyes.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's class number 4 in Hogwarts, transfigurations.
That'd be awesome.
So how was that? Just kind of looking at sitting with the concept of death and loss.
I'm already thinking I'm going to probably redo this one a couple times this week for myself. But good. I mean, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
So,
But allows you to have the reverence for that really juicy concept, but have inspiration from it, have some distance from it, so that, it doesn't take over you. You get to have command over it. And like, okay. Not necessarily that you're going to schedule your grief, but you could if you wanted to.
Right.
2 to 4 on Saturday, I'm going to sit with my shit.
Right. Any other time, no.
Awesome. Okay, my friend, I love
Thank
so
you.
much that you're willing to go on this journey with me and try to spread the word of health and healing, on a cosmic level, and as well as a real boots on the ground level. And I love that you're willing to play and be my energy.
I told you after our first session, how many months ago, I was like, wow, I feel so much better. So much better. So yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Signing off, folks. Look us up at intuitivehypnotherapy.com. All right.
Bye.
Bye.